Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Stay with Coloring Bliss and welcome to this week's live event. This is part 2 of our weekly Wednesday live events. The first part was over on Facebook, so hopefully you were able to join us over there. If you missed that, I recommend that you go and watch it after you've enjoyed this one, of course. Today's fun live event subject is coloring with alcohol markers, especially if you are a newbie. We are following along with Steve's very first experience with coloring with alcohol markers. He is my husband and business partner and awesome guy. And he is, excuse me, he's having his very first experience with coloring with alcohol markers. And it's really interesting to watch what things he's struggling with, what things he likes, what things are frustrating him. At first he was getting really tight and frustrated, and then he remembered he was supposed to relax and enjoy the experience, and he's making really good progress on this coloring page, which is actually free to come and download right now. It'll be free for this week only. So come and download it, and you can try coloring it too. See what you come up with. So come and download that. There's a link to this coloring page in the video description. So follow that link and come and download it. Steve is anxious to get back over here in this chair, the hot seat, so that he can do some more coloring. He's using a mix of Copics and Bliss Studio markers. Like I said, if you want to see the beginning of the video, make sure you go watch it over on Facebook. There's a link to our Facebook page also in the video description, so you can follow that. So, are you ready to move over here, Steve?
Almost. It looks like YouTube is having a problem with their live streaming thing. Let me see if I can pull up.
Okay. He's trying to get it ready so I can follow the chat and help him. It looks like it's working here from our end, so that's good.
There we go.
Of course, we've got Rose here, and she's been very confused why Steve has been sitting here and not me, but she's dealing with it well, aren't you? You're a trooper, huh? You helping Dad color with alcohol markers that are squeaky? Okay, I think he's ready to take the chair.
All right.
Here you go, Steve.
Thanks. Okay. So on this one, I decided, I started out by practicing some blending. I decided to use an analogous color scheme. Just to kind of a recap for those that weren't there in the other, which is when the colors on an artist color wheel are all in a row. I added a fourth one, so I have a yellow, orange, and a red orange. And I tested some markers, and I decided that the yellow was from the Blick line, the yellow orange was from the Copic sketch because I wanted to try those. The orange is from the Blick line, and vermilion is my red orange from Copic sketch. So that's what I'm using. And Jennifer helped me practice some blending, trying to figure out how to get it to look smooth. We had some great tips from others over there on Facebook, like Roberta, who told me to go in small circles to kind of remove some of these streaky lines that you get with alcohol markers. So I've been learning a lot about coloring with alcohol markers. And this is the coloring page that I picked. Did you tell them that?
I told them they could get it for free. Yeah. Do you want to tell them why you picked it?
I like the design. I think it's cool. And when I looked at it, I thought, oh, that would be a nice flame. And so that's why I decided to go with analogous, because it's, all kind of similar color families. These are all warm. Hi, Rosie.
Everybody says Rose is confused.
Hi. What is it? She wants to help me. What do you think? Now I got to try to blend these. Don't you agree?
Staring at the camera.
Don't you agree? I gotta get these blended. Yeah. Did you want to get down? Does she want to get down?
I think she wants to get down.
Okay.
Holly's wondering if you're preferring the Copics or the Bliss.
I haven't even noticed, to be honest with you.
I know. The Bliss are a darn good dupe for those Copics.
Yeah, I haven't noticed. I initially like the color of the Bliss a little bit more, but it's probably just the colors that I picked. We only have 12 Copic sketches, so I was limited there, where the Bliss I had a lot to choose from. But
Yeah.
okay, well, this kind of looks, I don't know, it kind of looks cool like that. I'm trying to decide if I want to blend it in or just leave it like that, you know?
I think you should do a little blending.
Okay. It's been sitting here for a while, so that's when I'm worried if it's too dry to even
It'll blend.
blend. You
I
can see it didn't saturate too much.
wouldn't worry about, like, you know, my trick of doing the Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. I wouldn't worry about that. I would just take this tone and
Just
blend a
two
little
at a
bit there,
time.
and then this tone and blend into there, and keep going that way. Because I think if you try to do Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, you're going to be here for a while.
Okay. Let's get doggy tail in there. There you go.
He's a cutie. He's a cutie.
And they were helping me see how, to some degree, I can use a colorless blender to remove some mistakes. It definitely worked on the yellow up here. I had some yellows where I accidentally colored outside of the picture, and it removed that pretty well up there.
Really good, yeah.
But down here, where I use that darkest red, that vermilion Copic, it's just there.
Yeah, but you can still keep treating it. Like, ever so often, grab it and give it a little flick rub and see if you can push that ink around like they say.
Yeah, it's a stubborn one.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to start up here with the yellow, and that means I got to go to my yellow orange, which is my Copic Chrome Orange YR04.
It's really smart how you've got them laid out in the right order over there. Or do you?
No,
If I were you, I'd have them laid out in the right order on your left. That helps me not to get lost.
Okay, I think I'm going to try the circular technique and see if I can get any of this to blend in. So this is, wait a minute, no, I want to go yellow, right? On top of this orange. And somebody said just start right on the line.
Oh, someone wants you to try the Signo Uniball white pen and give it some bling bling.
Ooh, never done bling.
Naomi says, your husband took over your channel? Yes, he did. We talked him into it last week. He's colored for us before, back in June for Father's Day. He tried color pencil for the first time. Try your flick motions to get
From
that.
like up.
Exactly. Remember, the first place you touch is going to be your deepest tone.
Okay. Yeah, because it kind of did some weird things to the... Oh, that's not going to work, is it? That's just going to make it darker.
It might, yeah.
Huh.
Look up into the Bliss and see if you can see another tone of yellow if you want. Robin's encouraging you to clean the tips when you move from, so you don't contaminate.
Ooh.
Yeah, everybody was wanting you to do some bling. You've got glitter suggestions, metallic suggestions.
This isn't blending.
Libby thinks you're a good sport.
Oh, thanks, Libby.
And Bob says, I thought I was the only guy who likes coloring. Good for you, Steve. Do you like coloring, Steve? Are you enjoying yourself right now? Be honest.
I'm stressed right now because I can't get that to blend.
I just put you on camera because I can see it in you. You're not enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Would you like some help, or do you want to just struggle on?
Well, I mean, how would you blend those two lines?
Did you want me to get in there and show
No.
you?
Just tell me.
Well, you're going from linear to trying to blend in circles and flicks now. I would go back to the same kind of stroke that you started with. Go back to your linear strokes.
Okay.
And see if you have more success doing that. So where you're going from your yellow to your orange, grab that same orange and try blending up into the yellow, and then have your yellow ready and go right straight back to the yellow again in that same area, because then you're going to create that wet on wet ink area again. And start that blend in there.
Okay. Let me try it.
So move it down. You can also move up into the yellow zone.
Grab the yellow, hurry.
Yep. Kim says don't be hard on yourself. Jack is telling Bob that he's here too. A male colorist.
Yeah, it's really lifting that ink there.
And remember, it's going to dry lighter.
Alright, that didn't work. I'm just going to go down to this other one down here.
Tammy's saying she struggles with blending too, Steve. Hang in there. Blue is saying, Blue Petal Media says try the yellow Copic. It will blend things out better.
Okay, so like you said, that one worked right there. That worked better.
You also remember, look at the huge difference in tones between this one and this one. That's why you're having
true.
a big jump. Here is really natural jumps in color. So that's why I'm wondering if you need to go find up in the Blix another tone to help you move.
Just to get a little closer to the
Yeah.
yellow. Ooh, good idea.
Kim says, don't be a perfectionist on your first piece. The Disco Panda says, trial and error, Steve. It's part of the learning.
Okay. I hear you.
Oh, Linda's wondering about the tip-to-tip trick.
I did want to try that. Yeah, those are blending out a little better.
Yeah. So we need to find you a really light orange. Maybe that yellow
Yeah, because that
ochre,
looks really crappy up there.
or the honey yellow. I'm barely reading it from here.
Okay, now just a second. Let's see. I want a burnt orange. I wonder if that would be okay.
Yeah, do a little swatchy.
See how...
Try Blick honey yellow, Roberta says, or saffron.
No, not that one. Okay, honey yellow. Yeah, that's definitely closer there. Yellow ochre was also a nice.
I'm getting little kisses on my legs. Do you
Little
think that
darker.
means she wants to get back up here?
Saffron.
Let's get her back up here.
Okay. What you doing, Rose?
She wants to come back.
Okay. Oh yeah, I like that saffron.
Whoa, someone suggested it. Who was it? I'm the one that read it. I'm supposed to remember. Roberta. Roberta. Sounds Italian, not. Okay, I'll put it back down. Libby has a question. Please compare the Blick markers with similar alcohol markers. Jen. Libby, I love the Blick markers, and I think I've done a whole review on the Blicks. Have I?
Yeah, I think so. Didn't you?
I don't know. If I haven't, then shame on me. I need to. Let's see. I know I talked about them on that latest video where I tested all the markers to see who had the most ink. Blicks came out really good on that one. Some of the issues I have with Blick is I wish they had more colors. But other than that, oh, and the caps don't stack. but they have a wonderful brush tip. They don't have refillable ink.
I'm still getting 3 really distinct bands there.
Go in again with your mid-tone. See if you can just kind of sweeten up that transition. Claire asks if I've done a review on the Tombows yet. No, they've been featured in several of my videos, but not a standalone review yet. I love them.
It's getting quite dirty.
Oh.
I'm over here cleaning it off. It's okay. All right. Well, anyway, I think that's. I wish that this section here was just a little. I think I'm gonna go back over this middle section.
We're talking about the smell of the Blicks versus the Copics. Have you smelled them yet, Steve? He's my smeller.
I do keep smelling markers. I don't know. I guess I need to pay attention to which one I'm smelling when I'm.
And Carol, which we haven't talked about this yet on YouTube, they're wondering about the paper, Steve.
This is our marker paper, and it's really smooth and really heavy, pretty heavy stock. It's 100 pound, 271 GSM. So, you know, as you can see, I'm doing a lot of layers here, and it's not bleeding through too bad. I think that most of the marks on here actually came from when I was doing this, working with the darker colors, but yeah. Okay.
Why don't you give them a smell?
Oh yeah, the smell test. Copic sketch.
I'm gonna put you on camera for this.
Okay. Don't color my nose. Those aren't too bad. Yeah, the Blick are just, I would say, just a little bit stronger than the sketch, but not too bad. Yeah, they're not too bad, but a little bit stronger than the sketch.
Yeah, sorry, I'm having to stand up, so he had to look way back to see me.
Let's see. Okay, now I get to decide what to do next on this. So now I have my background here.
This is the fun part now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over this one more time right here.
Everybody's saying it's looking good. Kim is wondering if we've had any luck sourcing watercolor paper yet.
No. Not for anything that you can really put through your printer.
They want you to do another smell test.
Okay.
This time from the chisel tip.
That's what I did last time, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it was chisel. Chisel. Let's see. I'm trying to think how a professional does it. You gotta waft it up into your...
Maybe you should do a fresh one you haven't even opened, like a blue or something.
Ugh.
Really take a nice, deep smell.
I think I touched my nose. What's that? There's like a hair on it or something.
It's probably a rose hair. If you're enjoying watching Steve smell markers, make sure you hit like on this video.
Yeah, definitely the Blicks have a slightly stronger smell than the Copics, but not a whole lot. A little bit.
The Colorful Life. Anne is worried that we're trying to make you get high.
Yes. Okay, now I get to decide what I want to do. I really like the idea of something like they were saying, like the Signo, something that will really make these sections stand out, like almost like 3D, you know, like puff out.
Yeah.
You have those puffy gel pens.
What about the Pentel Sparkle Pops?
Yes.
You've been wanting to get your hands on them.
Yes, Pentel Sparkle Pops. I've heard so many good things about these. Okay.
You guys should have seen his face. We didn't have it on your face. Reenact it, Steve.
Pentel Sparkle
That
Pop.
was not your face.
I did get pretty excited about those Sparkle Pops.
Let's say
I will admit.
How about the Pentel Sparkle Pops, Steve?
Okay, here's a Pentel Sparkle Pop Gold.
Yeah, that one's just going to be gold. But it is a stunning gold.
Because that's what I'm thinking, is I want a gold. Well, I don't
You've
know if I
got
want
your
a gold.
swatches there on the left.
Or do I want it to contrast more? Like, was it a
that
silver?
whole row is going to be your pops. And then you've got your swatches that you did at the beginning, your blending.
Uh-huh.
So swatch them on top of your marker, and then you'll see which ones are going to pop and which ones are going to go flat on you.
So I'm getting
Panda
confused. Sparkle Pops, are they the ones that change colors?
Yes. So that's why you want to swatch them, because you don't.
They dry different than okay, and then I also want to try the
Just pull them.
Milky Pop White
That's that
and
one
the
right
Sparkle Pop Silver. Okay.
That's all. That's
Okay.
the ones you want.
These are the Sparkle Pops right
And
here. And
of course, any of the Milky Pops are going to dry nice and
Okay.
opaque.
if I look at the color wheel, if I wanted a complementary color, I could come across the wheel and pick something in the, you know, pretty much anywhere in the blue, green, blue section. So I'll try it
Yeah.
on top of this and see what I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Disco Panda said she suggested Sparkle Pops earlier. Everybody's
Good
getting
idea.
excited about the Sparkle Pops.
and I remember.
Yep. Simi's Fragrance and Beauty Dad says it's 2:23 a.m. in the UK. Whoa, we're so glad you're here.
Welcome, Night Owl. Okay. Okay, that's the white on top of there. It took quite a bit to get anything going. I still want to see this gold. Oh, it's like dirty.
Yeah, wipe that. Sometimes the gel will, because it comes out so juicy.
Oh, I love that gold.
It'll be sort of, it'll dry on the tip sometimes, so just clean it off. I'm going to zoom in so they can enjoy that sparkle pop.
Yeah. You can go even farther.
Zoom
Really
in
get
more.
right up in there.
Really
Get right up
enjoy
in their
that
business.
Sparkle pop, man.
Okay, now let's try the silver that dries kind of blue, which is a cool complementary effect.
Yeah, that's right across on that wheel.
So I like
Jean
that
wanted to know
concept
why you tapped the pen tip.
because Jennifer does it to release that ball.
And
get
Steve
the
does
ink.
everything I tell him to do.
That's right. Ooh, man, that blue's amazing. And what's cool about it is it's a blue and blue green. So it really is complementary.
It gets both.
But
for you.
man, with that one though, I am committing.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's like bold blue.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
We'll move it in the light for him because it's looking black. Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Oh, so pretty. Oh,
See
so
that?
pretty.
Okay. The white is cool, but it's a little bit, it's being upstaged by the gold. Look at that gold and silver. Oh my goodness.
Pretty.
I want to use all of them. Maybe I should. Okay, let's see. Let's try the green. I'm curious about the green. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Slide it up just a wee bit there.
That is amazing. So, what's funny is that the green is more blue and the blue is more green.
Yeah, that's
If I can catch it in the light.
there.
See how that green is more blue and the blue is more green?
So pretty.
I'll stick with, if I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to stick with the, I feel like my dominant color is really in that, oops, sorry, is really in the yellow, orange area. So if I go across the color wheel exactly, then I'm more in the blue, violet.
Miss
I
Shoemate
would say
says
still
use
blue,
the
green.
blue but in sparing areas. Kim wants you to go green.
Oh, they're so cool.
Julie says go blue, Daddy-o.
Oh, I forgot to test the orange sparkle pop.
I love how excited you get about this stuff.
Oh, that's really cool too.
Holly says, how did you train him to do everything? I am married almost 39 years. He will be on Saturday. Oh, congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
And
yeah.
I've not gotten my husband trained.
Oh, that's really pretty too. Oh, darn it.
Mandy says,
I
is it
call them
completely nerdy of me to admit that to reveal those sparkle pops just gave me chills?
That's awesome. Oh, I love that orange. Darn it. I like all of them, Jen.
They want to know if the sparkle pops are bleeding through.
I doubt it. Yeah, no. Not
Well,
at all.
especially on this paper. I don't think they would have a chance on this paper.
Oh, darn it. What am I going to do? Well, I am loving that blue that actually came from the green. So I think if I were to do anything, I would do that one.
Polly says, go green.
Oh, sorry. I'm out of the frame there.
Here. Oh, now they can watch you really. This
Okay.
is the struggle,
And
the color
the
struggle.
irony here is that I like the gold of the orange better than the gold of the gold. It kind of does both. It's orange, it matches the colors I've been using, and it gives me gold. So I'm going to use the orange. I'm going to use the green to get some blue in there. And I might use the silver depending on what I'm... Oh. Then I look at this and I'm like, oh boy, what am I going to do? Okay,
One thing at a time.
so for instance...
Yeah, Julie says, pick 3, jump in.
Okay, so let's say... Okay. I think what I'm going to do is in these little areas here, these little loop-de-doo teardrop thinger majigamabobbers.
How did you know that's what they're called?
I think that's where I'm going to do the green. And then I think I'm going to go with the orange. I'm not quite ready for this silver. Is that
The
white? Whoops.
You grabbed the white.
This silver.
That's a totally different color family. Like that goes to the blues and the...
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with this.
So remember in the color wheel tips to use that complementary really sparingly.
Yeah, that's
You
why
can
I'm going to
always
do
add
them in the
more.
drops.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start right in the center here and see how this looks. Any tricks with coloring with gel pens, or just kind of do what I'm doing?
Do I have any tricks for coloring with gel pens?
Silly girl.
Oh, sorry. You're doing great. If you want just a solid area, then just start coloring. If you want to get fancy, we can get fancy. If anybody wants to know my tips and tricks, I have a full playlist on YouTube. That's why I was cackling like a coloring fool.
This is kind of weird. Like, when it was first coming out, it's kind of this greenish color.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably just the way it's drying, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Give it a second. Give it a second. Jen's evil witch laugh.
I don't like that. Now that I've laid it down, I don't really like it. If I roll it in the light, though, I like it. When it's flat, I don't really like the color flat.
You can let it dry and go in on top of it. So let it have a minute to dry and then decide what you want to do.
So the one above it, I'm going to try the gold. See if I like that better.
Ask him to try the purple blue sparkle pop, Julia says.
The purple blue? Ooh.
Sometimes you just have to get started. You only use one pen at a time. Oh, Kim says try using a little red at the bottom to give a little blend so it's not just one color in the area. Tammy's asking everybody to do a thumbs up. Show Steve some love.
Thank you, Tammy.
A Colorful Life says, I learned everything about gel pens from Jen. Thanks, Anne. Kim says Jen is the queen of gel pen art techniques. You guys are awesome. And Gail says you have the best teacher, Steve.
Yes, I do.
Except for when she cackles at you like a witch.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Maybe it's...
Yeah, I'm not liking that either. Again, you know, when it catches the light, yeah, it's amazing. So, yeah, just have to walk around with it at like a right angle. So,
with a flashlight in your hand.
Yeah, for you guys, it would be right here. And then don't move. So, I think that is telling me that I really do want to go to something a little more bold. So, that purple somebody recommended. So, I don't know. Maybe I really would like the blue to be a little more
slide it up a little bit for them.
Ooh, that's nice too.
Wow, I think you have a lot of good options.
Definitely more of a violet there. Well, I'm a little underwhelmed by that. Okay, let's see what this silver.
Follow your instincts.
Yeah, because that's just boring.
Go where no man has ever gone before, Steve. That's what Anne says.
Okay, real quick though, I do want to try silver to see if it's also underwhelming or if it's cool. See, that's, yeah, I like that better.
Let's see.
That's more, I think, what I was kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of...
I wanted it to just pop more.
Undertone that's coming out. It's pretty...
So I think I'm going to finish that, that loop or whatever. So do you like the the Blix as much as you like the Copics then?
I do. Yep. I think I like them more than the Copics just because I can buy like 4 Blix for 1 Copic. And I get the awesome brush tip. So in my world, I'd rather have more colors. But
You mean, own more colors?
I'd rather own more colors.
Because I know that's what you said about the
That
Copics.
caps off at some point because the Blix have less than 100 colors, where Copics have over 300 colors.
Yeah.
So at some point, if I let my addiction go wild, I'm going to feel like I need more colors.
I guess, from my perspective, it's already a little stressful enough trying to pick a color out of,
Yeah.
that to go from what Blix have, 70, 90, somewhere in there,
90-ish.
to suddenly jump that up to over 300, it'd be like, what?
Well, do you remember your frustration of the light yellow to that orange?
Yeah.
The good thing about having 300 colors to pick from is you can find those light, medium, and darks that are close to each other easier.
Yeah.
And then
That makes sense.
like if you wanted a light or a blue that's a little more on the green side, you can find that really easy in the Copic family. Where in the Blix, they only have certain blues, and you're stuck with what you've got, and you have to start blending and layering to get that exact tone that you want.
Right.
Of course, Blix, you can't refill them. You can't buy replaceable nibs. So there are downsides. Copics is just a big old system you're buying into. They have the airbrush tool that goes with it. They have classes you can take. They have a huge online resource with the Copics. It's a whole...
if you had sounds like if you had the budget for it, then
Do you want to slide it up a bit, Steve?
it would be a pretty cool system to get into.
Yeah. But it still comes down to budget. And I would rather buy
Well,
my Blix and then have leftover money so I can buy more gel pens and color pencils.
Well, where you're so into mixed media, I guess, if
Yeah.
you were an artist and that's what you're doing professionally, it makes a lot of sense to go with Copics. But yeah, it's more of a hobby, the coloring side of things, and
Yeah.
maybe it isn't worth that. What do you think would happen if I were to go on top of those colors, the gel pen that I don't like in the middle?
You can do it. Practice on your swatches. The difference of when you lay down gel pen, think of it kind of like acrylic paint. It's like a layer of paint there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
your tip of your pen can scratch down and remove that. I'm going to slide it up a bit. It can remove that first layer and cause kind of a funky texture. So just be light-handed.
Okay, so for instance, if I went over with the green,
I'm talking about full set syndrome, FSS.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if I were to go over it with the white? Oh boy, that really doesn't want to come out there.
I have other liquid inks we could go over it with if you're really unhappy with it.
Let's go crazy and see what the pink looks like going over it. Ooh, I like that. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Let's see what happens here in the middle. I go over this. Oh yeah, that's a very bold color. I like it. I like it a lot.
They're all joking about FSS. Robbie says she admitted to her husband that she suffers from FSS.
That's the first step. Admitting you have a problem. So we're proud of you, Robbie.
She says his FSS is fireworks.
Ah.
I was going through all of our DVDs. We're trying to get them from these huge. They have not a huge set of DVDs, but I wanted to get them out of their boxes and into a better, smaller organizing system. And I realized things like we don't have all of the Star Wars movies on DVD. Like we're missing one. Or we're missing one of the Pirates of the Caribbean. There's just a few like that. And I realized my FSS was kicking in for our DVDs. And I was like, oh, we need to buy that one. And we need to buy that one. And then I remembered, we really haven't sat down and watched a DVD in like 6 months. I really shouldn't be buying more DVDs. I'm going to slide it up, Steve. Anyway, it's funny how often FSS affects us. It makes us go buy things. I wonder how often that...
Yeah.
How did we get ourselves into this mess, this FSS mess?
There probably is some psychological term for it that's real.
Alicia says, is FSS a thing? It's a term
that we made up just to be funny.
We made up to be funny. I'm going to do a coloring page about it one of these days. It's just a term to explain my need to have each pencil in a color pencil set or each marker in a marker set. And I get like that urge that I'm not happy until I have each and every one of the Jelly Roll gel pens. I have to have them all. How is Rose doing, Claire says? Did she finally go to sleep?
Yeah, do you want to...
I think I'm allowed to say that I have a syndrome like that since I suffer from so many real syndromes.
That's right.
Aw, she's really out now. Aw, she's a Maltese. Well, in case you guys don't know Rose, she's a Maltese. And we got her, how many years ago now?
4 years ago.
She's 4. We got her as a puppy to be my companion dog, so she could sit with me. I'm up late at night with insomnia because of my pain, and she just sits with me and hangs out with me and keeps me company, and she's my little lap dog, my little fur baby friend.
Okay, so I guess maybe what I'm going to do then is get a little more exciting, get a little more crazy as it goes out. I don't know.
Oh, it's so pretty.
That's pretty cool.
See how your eye doesn't even go to your streaks anymore.
Yeah.
It's a trick of the eye.
Okay. I think I want to do... I'm going to try that purple one. Why not? On the next ring out.
Okay. Make sure you're in.
Here, look.
Oh,
She's...
is her tail wagging in her sleep?
Oh, it stopped.
Oh. Maybe she's dreaming about coloring. Last night she was full on barking in her sleep, but not like sleep
loud.
barking. She was like full on barking in her sleep. Jack Brown says just finished his Prismacolor set. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of pets, our cat's wandering in.
Hey, Mishka.
What?
Oh, did that wake you up? Woke Rose up. You hear Mishka?
Mark says, I have no markers, only colored pencils and watercolor pencils. I just bought the 150 set of super color watercolor pencils. Got them yesterday. I'll let the swatching begin. Oh, I love swatching new things. It's so nice. Come here, Mishka. Oh, they're talking about sleep barking for dogs.
Yeah. So cute.
Katrina's wondering why Rose's bed is different.
We suspect she was getting hot. She wouldn't stay up in the bed. And it's pretty warm in this room. The art studio and office is above our garage. It's a room above the garage, and so it's pretty warm in here. So.
Mishka, come here. They want to meet you. Mishka.
Oh, he's awesome.
I'll go snack him.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so the next one out, I'm going to do the blue. And then I'll show you the...
No. He wants me to follow him.
Did we go down the hall?
He went running. Come here, baby.
So, give me food.
Here. Come here. He said no. And he flicked his tail. He's still... Oh, here he comes.
Oh, Mishka.
Come and herd me. He's a herder.
Mishka is a Siberian forest cat.
Okay,
So we wanted to give him a Russian name. And so we were looking up names, and it was either between Pushisti.
Pushista, I think it was, wasn't
I think
it?
it was Pushisti.
This is Mishka.
So anybody that
Hi.
speaks Russian.
Hi.
But he's a big, beautiful boy.
He's a big boy because
Yeah.
he's Siberian.
He's actually kind of small for a
Oh.
male. He's like 18 pounds or so. They can, if they're unneutered, they can get up to like 35 pounds.
Yeah, he's really big. He's got such a pretty tail. Look at his
Yes,
tail.
that's his greatest gift to mankind.
He's like, oh, he's gonna claw me. Bye, everybody.
He's getting mad.
Oh, yeah. I'll put it back on Steve. I know. He wants me to feed him. Oh, let's see. Yeah, he is a big boy. How long will we be here? Usually we stop at 8 p.m., so Steve's got 9 more minutes.
That's cool.
Do Rosie and Mishka get along?
They don't get each other. They get along, yeah. They don't fight or anything. They just don't get each other. I would imagine there's others. Those of you that have cats and dogs, is it kind of the same way? It's kind of funny to see how they try to play with each other, and each of them just plays wrong according to the other. Rose wants to get down and wrestle and get in each other's face, and Mishka's like, that's crazy, I'm out of here. And then when Mishka likes to hunt her, so she's just walking through the house, minding her own business, and suddenly he jumps out and she doesn't like
She's
that.
like, what?
She's like,
why did you do that?
and so
They want to play with each other, but they don't get it.
it just doesn't
Why
make
did you
any
do
sense. You play wrong. So.
They think we should get a pug, Alicia says.
Oh yeah, I have some cousins, my aunt, who have pugs. They're cute.
And Anne from A Colorful Life says Kenji is 22 pounds of round fluff.
Oh wow. Yep. So there we go.
Oh, I don't think it's in the. They're looking at you.
Oh, I'm all looking at it. Oh wow.
They're looking You squinting at it. There, now show them. Move it in line. There. Oh. Very pretty.
That's cool.
I like the different colors.
Yeah, me too.
Wow. Robin says, one of my kitties' name is Paintbrush because she's got a black tail with a white tip on it. Like it's been dipped in paint.
Oh, cute.
Oh, I missed a comment from Birdie's Mixed Medias. Does Steve find this a relaxing way to spend his birthday? I'll let you answer that, Steve.
You know, at first it wasn't, but right now I'm really actually kind of enjoying this. It's not as stressful just filling in spaces rather than trying to blend.
Yeah.
Blending was
intense.
It's like we talked about last time. It's just really hard to not be perfectionist about it, you know? To just be okay with it not working out, and it's really bugging me how crappy that section looks, you know?
So you need to put more details, your coloring details up there
Uh-huh.
to distract the eye. That's the trick. I use it all the time when I have an area I don't like. That's an area to add lots of details in.
You know, so we, we're always encouraging our members and our community to share what they're coloring, no matter how good or they perceive it to be. But I have to admit, I don't think I would share this. You know, like my first reaction is no, I would never share this because it's not good enough.
Oh.
And so I guess it's probably good for me to go through this. So I get that.
See, and I would say that you're only halfway done. Like once you've finished filling in the areas that you've started.
Oh, really?
I would say you're only halfway done. Or maybe 2/3.
Like you see a lot more that I could do.
Yeah, and then you might feel more like it's a complete piece that you would be proud to share.
Maybe that's part of what's hard about being a newbie at it, is you just don't know what you don't know. And so I don't even know what to do next.
Yeah.
You know, all I can think is I look at it and fill in those areas with color and stress out over what color to choose to fill it in with, and
fixate on what you don't like.
Yeah, rather than thinking through, okay, I could try this, I could try that.
Slide it up again.
So like, what other things would you do?
Well, I see your giant white background as a big area that you could work in. And maybe it's the artist in me. Like I see those big areas in the middle as areas where I would go in with my gel pen and add a whole bunch of like pointillism type dots, and I would come in with like a deep red gel pen at the bottom and work in some pointillism to really bring in that red, like your flame.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd play with that and bring in that red flame and add some pointillism in some areas, and then an orange gel pen and a yellow orange and then a yellow at the top, and
like inside
depth. Add some depth and stuff into it, and all those kinds of details would help trick the eye to not look at areas that you feel like you didn't blend. Because when I blend, I have areas that look just like what you did. But then you trick the eye away from looking at it with all the fancy stippling and the shiny bling and all the fun stuff.
See, that's why we need you, Jen. Because I would never think of that stuff,
Yeah. And then, of course, the background is a fun place to play with, you could do 100 things in the background. Pastels and more marker, more gel pen. There's just tons of stuff to play with in the background. Or just some doodling too. So that's why I say when I look at what you've done, I think he's about 2/3 in. He's got the main flame and he's got everything filled in, but now you go in and you add the bling, even more bling.
Well, I know when you're watching like artists, like, you know, the artists that you like to follow, especially some of those that are really like fine artists.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the way they think, you know, it just, and the order that they approach
Yeah.
the thing just doesn't make any sense when you're not an artist.
Well, and so often you think,
And it
they're
doesn't
done.
look good until the end, and then it's amazing because they bring in all of that extra stuff that you're
Or
probably
so
talking
often
about.
I'll be watching them and I'll think, they're done. It looks so good. They're done. And then you look at the timer on the YouTube video and you're like, they still have like 10 minutes left on this YouTube video. What more could they possibly do? And it's like sped up, you know, so you're watching it 4 or 5 times fast. And they keep adding and adding and it keeps looking better and better, and you're like, well, no wonder my art looks so beginner compared to their art. They spent an extra 3 hours at the point I would have stopped. They kept going for another 3 hours and took it from beginner level to amazing level. And I think that's kind of what, you know, what we're talking about here is Steve gets to a point and he's like, okay, now what, you know? And that's where it's so fun to be part of a coloring community, because you can go and like our Facebook page and go look at that group, the Facebook group, which is Coloring Pages Bliss, and go join that group and look at all the neat art and look at the ones that they have spent the extra hour or two and the extra things they've added. You know, they don't just color the background blue. They like add neat dimension or doodles or really cool designs, and wow, that's a background. It's like a whole art piece in itself, just the background. So that's, you know, I like watching the fine artists because I get ideas and see what they do to take their art from here to here. And I take one idea and I try to add that to my art. Don't get too overwhelmed, because fine artists have been practicing for years and it's not fair to compare ourselves. But maybe you can get one idea and apply that to your coloring, and that one little idea will take your art from here to here, and you'll feel that much prouder, and then you'll want to share your art in a group. Like how Steve was saying, he doesn't feel like he would feel proud enough of this piece of art to share it. But maybe if he learned one little trick, that trick would be the thing that would make him go, wow, you know what? Now I'm feeling like this is something I would want to brag about and show. So
And I
another
can see
idea would be he could share this and then say, what would you guys do to
I was just
take
going to
this
say
to the
that
next?
that's probably, you know, probably what I would have to do, again, because you don't know what you don't know, and just ask, have the courage, I guess, to share it,
Yeah.
and ask and say, you know, any other ideas of what, because, you know, in our group you'd get a ton of feedback.
And that group really is such a supportive, awesome group. It's not I think if you tried sharing once and you saw the support you get, you would realize it's a safe place. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. There's all kinds of great comments while I was soliloquizing. Doing my soliloquy. I have to have at least one soliloquy every week. That was my soliloquy for the week. They're sharing all kinds of great things here. Oh, we've passed 8 o'clock, by the way, Steve.
Okay. I'm almost done. I think
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
stop once I have all
Madison
this.
says the most valuable thing she learned in art school was to walk away from a piece and come back to it in a day or so. That's really good advice. Okay.
Really is interesting or a little funny how much more relaxed I feel.
Are you?
Yeah, now that I've kind of, I think trying to take on the blending, I wouldn't call it a mistake. I mean, it's good to learn, but it was
hard.
It was hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think just going to these fun.
Oh. Well, let's go here.
Going to these fun.
Sorry about the call. Just ignore it, everybody. Come this way.
That's Jennifer's ring.
That's my ringtone.
But anyway, finding a tool that excites me, that inspires me, and that is fun.
You got
then
really
it was
excited about the sparkle
and then
pop.
it was really easy to fill in these areas, and it looks really cool when you shine it in the light, and so that makes me feel a lot happier about it. And you're right, I don't see all the mistakes and streaks and stuff so much because I'm seeing all of the sparkle.
The bling.
Yeah, the bling. Those two middle ones I'm still not super happy with, but oh well. Now, something I've seen Jennifer do. I wonder, what if I were to try to,
Everybody's saying, wow, looks good. That's so cool. That's lovely. No mistakes in coloring. Nice job, Steve.
Yeah, it's too, I wish I could get some white in there,
If you really want to, I can show you a product really quick that'll do it for you.
Oh, yeah?
It's because you're using on top of gel pen. Let me get in here.
Yeah, this is kind of doing it, though, now that it's going. Oops, am I in the...
Okay, here. This is basically what is inside. That pen is in this jar.
Oh, really?
Okay, so dip just a tiny bit in.
It's like whiteout.
It's Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. It's white. It's white ink, but it's thicker than ink. It's like white acrylic paint, only it's not acrylic paint. It's its own creature.
What I was wanting to do was try to just get something that was just a line, not so much fill the center, but it's okay.
Yeah, everybody was saying I should have grabbed my Posca pen. It's not a gouache, Disco Panda. It's a product made by Dr. P.H. Martins. It's called Bleed Proof White.
Well, now I want to do that everywhere else. That's cool.
It's cool stuff, I know.
I like that. So now it makes me want to do it on the center ring, and then I'd probably want to do on the other one. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll stop there, but that's really cool.
You're right, Roberta. It's a lot like the Copic Opaque White.
All right.
You want to put the lid on it and show them the bottle?
Let's see.
That's it, right there.
Which way do I go? There we go.
Just like that. I can't remember how much money it was or anything, so you'll have to go Amazon it. I got it off Amazon. So.
All right. Well, I think I'm done for the night.
Better sign it. Put your date on it. Always sign and date, everybody, so that you can remember how you did. So years later, decades later, as you become a professional marker blender, you can look back and say, wow, look how far I've come.
What's the date?
8/15.
Okay.
Okay, we'll come here.
Oh, just a sec. We gotta go back to here.
Oh,
And we have to enjoy the bling. Come on, work. Go.
there.
we go. All right.
Now say the bling.
Bling, 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 bling.
Oh,
Like a
that
slot
top is
machine.
neat. Ooh, look at the top. You like it better with the white in the middle now?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice the blend. Did you see? You're not even looking at the blend
Yeah.
now. I like it. That's really cool. You're just sitting there enjoying it now.
I like it.
Oh, he's mesmerized by his art. He's mesmerized.
That's right.
Well, you're such a good sport.
Thanks.
So you're going to color next week for us?
No. We can leave that to you.
Oh, what do you want me to do next week?
I don't know.
Well, I'll have to think about it. Maybe you guys can comment below what you would like me to do next week. Because I don't have any ideas right this minute. The one thought I had is we've had a lot of questions about picking colors lately. People having questions about picking colors. So I did wonder about...
We do have our secret project too that hopefully we can get done by next week.
I know.
That would be good.
If I can get this pain to stop. Or at least just slow down a bit.
And I have to stop talking, otherwise I'll give it away.
Because you always give stuff away.
Yep.
But yeah, so maybe secret project, maybe color theory / picking colors.
Yeah.
Those are two really good ideas for
Yep.
next week. So, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thanks again for being such a good sport. You did awesome. And I've totally ignored all the comments now. Yeah, they enjoyed watching the bling too. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us. And we hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye.